The people are saying that this $39 mic from Amazon sounded great. I wonder if this sounds better than my thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollar setup.
Well,
I wonder if this is better than that.
I can tell you a major difference right away. Every time you move, every time you move that mic, it's like,
oh yeah.
When you move your other one, you don't hear shit.
Right. How about this? Do you hear this when I move my mouse?
Yeah, it's a massive echo. Matter of fact, it's coming through that mic for sure, right?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. You're hearing an echo now?
Yeah, it just sounds like it's coming from the room.
Oh, okay. Well, I think this is this mic. Really? This is it a bad echo? Is it
No,
different?
It's not a bad echo. It's just definitely not better than any of your expensive mics.
Oh, okay. Oh,
like,
it's
not
horrific?
at all.
It's horrific.
It's not horrific.
You sound fine. Is this the mic though? When I come up here, like, is this?
Yeah, that's definitely the mic.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know what people were saying about that better than being the.
Okay, they didn't say better. They were just talking about how great it is. It started making me think that
they're lying.
Yeah. I want to rip my ears off. No shit. This mic's that bad. Everyone in the comments was saying it's great. I think it sounds fine. You can hear when you clunk things around. Oh yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that. There he is.
There he is.
Dude.
Straight from the 70s.
You know, I got this thing in a thrift store. It's the greatest. Look at this, dude. It's got like a mullet protector on the back. Look at that thing. It's like a micro hood.
A mullet protector.
Did you shave your head since I seen you?
Did I have? Yeah, I think so.
Dude, just how weird is this? So we were supposed to hang out. Are you guys already live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. We were supposed to hang out, and the next thing you know, on the show, I'm sitting here in basically like an adjacent dumpster lot to the Whole Foods in Malibu. And out of nowhere, guess who pops up right behind me? Savon. We sat down, we went and watched Glassman speak, and which feels like is going to be the new uprising against the government. You know, it was that kind of feel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to tell about our other secret meeting. I got scared for a second.
Yeah. Dude, that whole thing to me still, I'm a bit shook. I don't know what the fuck we did there.
Have you been to a Diddy freak off?
No, but I've been talking about this with my team because I have like these mountain homes, and I'm kind of disappointed that we don't have our version of a Diddy freak off. Like, there's not people referencing me, like, you know, the hoo freak off. Like, what? Yo, there was another freak off at Hunter's house. I was like, we're doing it soft, guys. Like, we don't have any sex scandals, nothing.
There's something I want to show you guys. Did you have some time, Souza?
Yeah, I got like 20 minutes.
Okay. There's something I want to show you guys.
Looks like some of the ladies want to go to a Hunter freak off.
Do you know who
I'm pretty good at it.
Do you know who this Heaton girl is? Nikki Heaton?
No. My buddy George Heaton I know about.
Okay, let me see if I can find I want to see if I can find this video for you really quick. I had it. I don't know what
Is it sex?
Kind of. It's a trip. Let me see if I put it.
Porn in the
Say that again.
Are we watching some morning porn?
Kind of. We'll get to that.
You guys got me excited.
Little morning porn.
Let me see if I can.
Being raised in a Christian household, you're not allowed to do that, but I'm willing to break my vows.
Okay, here it is. So I'm in a nutshell. This girl says that she went with her manager.
Is this the one who is a stripper or something?
Well, if you look now, she's a tarot card reader and a healer.
But did she used to be a stripper?
Well, you're gonna have to tell me that, because this is gonna get into some pretty crazy territory.
There's no way we got to watch 8 minutes of this. Let's
No, sir. I would never do that to you.
Gonna fly by.
Here we go.
Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink. I'm like, I'm not actually doing it.
Okay, so the beginning of the story is her and her manager, Laura, get called to go visit the studio where Kanye is. They get there, and Kanye's there, and P. Diddy's there. There's 3 other men there, and there's 9 women there, using her words, not my words, that are studio hoes. Those are just hot chicks who hang around the studio. Those are her exact words.
I have those. Let's be real.
Jim Hose.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, I told when I tell you, asked Susan to get you on the show, I'm like, hey, can you get my studio hoe on? I never refer to you by name either.
That's nice. That's nice.
I thought you'd appreciate that. And then I hope when you tell your manager, you said, hey, I'm busy this morning, I'm going on my podcast hoe. I hope you.
That's right, dude.
For me as your podcast hoe.
You're my phone is that.
And so and the reason why she's being called there is she came to fame because she is not a studio hoe, but she was covering rap songs. And so she became YouTube famous, kind of like Bieber did in the early years. So she gets this call from Ye to come to the studio. And so she's so excited, and she's 19 years old. Okay, let's go. So now she's in the studio with Diddy, Ye, 9 studio hoes, and 3 executives.
And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like to join in. And
she gave them drink. Diddy and Kanye gave her and her manager drinks, and she doesn't drink. So she's faking to drink hers.
Immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me. So I couldn't like whisper to her.
So when she's given the drinks, she sees Diddy and Ye keep looking back and forth at her and her manager. So she suspects right away there's something in the drink. Like they're waiting to see, like they've done something to the drink, and now Ye and Diddy are waiting for the drink to kick in.
But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers. And I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip, and I'm like, fuck. Like, fuck. Now what do I do?
She gone.
And then I see her take another sip, 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like this isn't her. Like she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like she doesn't even talk. Whoa. It's already hitting her. Like 100%.
Drugs don't work that fast. First of all.
Yeah. Well, it gets even weirder. Here,
Yeah, but don't you hear the background music? It has to be true.
I love your assessment so far.
Listen, I'm just going to start punching holes through this because I've got my own theories behind these things.
Okay. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. Drugs don't work. Took 2 sips and she's already fucking gone flush. And my manager starts talking and she never talks. Your manager doesn't talk. Wait till you see wait till I take you to this girl's Instagram and her manager's Instagram. Okay. Hold on.
She hot?
And I just knew that the drinks were all.
Dude.
She got that link in bio. That's for sure.
Dude. She was a former OnlyFans girl.
There it is.
Her and her manager. But hold on.
All laced with something. And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. She's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God.
So now her manager is dismissing the 9 studio hoes. Now, so first the story was we've never met Kanye before, and we went there with my manager, but now they've drank a little, and the manager's dismissing the studio hoes. That sounds a little weird. Who the fuck is she? She's never met Kanye or Diddy before, supposedly, right?
So this is a setup.
But oh boy.
Dude, this is supposed to be an 8-minute video. And with the pausing, this is going to be a 35-minute experience. You better have a fucking good ending to this thing.
Always.
The girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? So I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine. I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. She's like, it's right there. I'm just going to go to the bathroom.
Oh my
God,
like, dude.
Okay.
The first 4 times I listened to this last night, 4 times, I didn't come up with what you've came up the first time, that it was her manager who set her up. I didn't even fucking realize this. Wait till you see what fucking happens, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.
And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in the studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, you know, because I'm like, there's other people around, there's other men around, and I know them. Like, I've known them for a while. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And I'm standing there, and I realize that so this is like a pretty like sizable studio. There's like the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all that. It's like it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realize that I'm standing really close to the exit. It's a glass door, and it opens in, and I'm standing pretty close to it. And I realize all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room, and they're like fuck out of their minds, and they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take her?
Oh yeah, so she keeps saying how drunk they are, that they're drunk and on some sort of drugs. And then they say to her, won't you please take your clothes off?
Clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just like see like how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know, like I'm still like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Yeah. So they're coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to like take my clothes off. And
they're trying to take my clothes off. They've come at me and they're trying to take my clothes off. Okay. Long story short, they take her top off. Here she says they take her top off. Other places she testifies that they ripped her clothes off. Right. And so she's got her top ripped off and she's almost exposed, and her top's ripped off. She's almost exposed. Her pants are still on. They're still coming at her. And basically she asks God, what should I do? And God responds to her and says, take a step towards them. So she's like, what the fuck? Why would I take a step towards them? So she takes a step towards them and realizes that gave her room to reach around, open the door. She opens the door and she runs out of the room.
You just made us watch that for that fucking long for that story ending?
You mean without her getting raped?
You've lost your YouTube privileges. That was the wackest story of all time. You could have clip note that into like a 10-second conversation.
Hey, until you realize she's a guest, she's coming on in 5 minutes and we get to interview about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now let me show you. So the story.
I have my own opinions about this. You don't jump into a fucking Shark Tank if you don't want to hang out with sharks. Like, people have to stop making these super stupid decisions. What are you doing? I get that the manager thing, if it was all a setup, but there's a lot of these people being like, I don't know what the heck happened. How did I end up in a Diddy freak off with all my clothes off? Like, what a party at their house at nighttime when everyone's all drunk.
Let me. So she has 5 million Instagram followers.
Yeah, she does.
This is her, right?
She doesn't seem to live a bad life. What's the problem?
So let me go on to say even more. What ends up happening is her manager ends up becoming Diddy or Kanye's personal assistant. After that, her manager gets the deal. I didn't realize this until you just said it was a setup. Her manager ends up becoming Kanye's personal assistant.
Go back up. Go back up to that titty out and holding your child thing on Instagram. This is my woman.
That's the newest.
I'd take her on a yacht trip and I'd push her off the boat. You know those things you're like, hey man, like my wife didn't come back. It was a rocky boat. I'd be the guy pushing her off. What in the world is going on? Like who?
So this is how she presents herself to the world, by the way.
I don't care about this. This is a little bit more, I mean, more realistic.
Wait a second. If you're an OnlyFans girl and you present yourself to the world like this, you don't think it's fair that rappers want to bring you to the studio and fuck you?
No, I get that completely. You set yourself up.
Yeah.
If you over sexualize yourself on the internet, then you're just opening up the door to people completely to sexualize you in all shapes and forms. Like, you know, the way that they talk to you, the way that they act around you when you're around, like, you come over. That's what you're
And
kind of
idiots are gonna be like, oh, are you saying,
message wise?
some idiots are going to say, Hunter, are you saying she deserves it? No. Like Jake Chapman's already gone there because he's a socialist. No. Oh, look at there you go. There you go. Look at these people. She's basically asking to be assaulted. I don't know if you're being.
No. None of us suggest that. I'm not taking the words out of your mouth, but you just got to be careful.
I know, but that's what people are going to think. You present yourself as a piece. Listen, for anyone out there who doesn't know men, all men know that you're.
I thought this was a fitness podcast. What the fuck are we doing right now?
You're presenting yourself as fuck meat. This is presenting yourself as fuck meat, wouldn't you say, to men?
I'm gonna put a period on the end of this sentence. We don't need to talk about this girl. Who even cares?
Okay. Wait till I show you. So her man. Let me show. Wait till I show you her
shallow
manager.
ditch. There's nothing interesting about this story.
Oh, wait till I show you her manager. This is her quiet. Let me show you her manager. You're gonna fucking trip.
Is this the chick who was getting paid $2 million a year by Kanye to be an executive assistant?
Yes, 4 million.
4 million. So
Yes,
you gotta understand,
4
these
million.
emails are
Listen,
important.
after she brings her buddy Nikki there and kicks out the studio hose and leaves her buddy Nikki there, they're both OnlyFans girls. By the way, just here's another thing. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. If you're an OnlyFans girl, people think that they can fucking pay you to fuck you.
It's not a big leap, I would say. It's
No.
not a big leap.
No.
I pay to watch you do
would
stuff for
say-
yourself on a screen.
Yeah, I mean, you got to assume if you go to a strip club and you see someone naked dancing on a pole, you think that there's really not that much of a difference between taking the next step with them. And now OnlyFans is just like the internet version of a strip club.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Let me see. Okay.
I admit it's probably a safer environment for a lot of these people.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
And you're going to a rapper studio who all they talk about is fucking bitches and fucking bitches.
How are we going deeper down this rabbit hole? It
this-
doesn't get that interesting. I don't understand why anybody's shocked by these things.
This is her manager.
She's really smart.
Damn.
She seems extremely smart.
This is her. Yeah, I agree. This is her manager who's quiet and demure and doesn't normally talk a lot. This is her manager.
You could tell she's got a couple big ideas, you know?
Yeah. This is her manager. So now this woman took her friend there. Her friend was fucking sexually assaulted. Her artist was sexually assaulted by Kanye. She then becomes, after that, Kanye's personal assistant for years.
I think you just got to be really smart. Like, don't go to parties at people's houses at late hours of the night when people are consuming things if you just don't want any of that kind of energy. I live on top of a mountain and I don't leave my house past 8 p.m. because I can't do that shit anymore.
Don't be a welcome mat and the door won't get knocked in. Yeah. Thank you.
That was deep. Is that one of those kind of things you get in like the Target section where you get signs around your house?
Hunter, how often do gay guys hit on you, Hunter?
Sadly, not enough. Like, I hang out with my guy. This
Once
is what
a week?
breaks.
Once a week?
This
And
breaks my
there's a
heart.
lot of gay dudes in Malibu. Once a week?
No, dude. You have to understand. I really do live up in the mountains. When I saw you the other day, I was like, dude, I stay up in the mountains and I come down to Whole Foods or like a grocery store and like I'll see you guys on occasion. But I live up in the mountains. But the thing that breaks my heart is like I'll hang out with my guy friends and I consider myself to be an attractive dude. These guys will sit here and we'll look at our phones, but look at these messages I've been getting in my DMs. There's some of my guy friends that are just getting peppered by dudes hitting them up all day long with the nicest things to say. They're like, dude, you have the most beautiful little buttercup ass. I would do anything to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, jealous. So jealous. Like, can you imagine waking up in the morning with that kind of compliment just to spring you out of bed? I don't have that.
Jake, are you a fucking rapist? Do you hate women, Jake? You fucking hate women? Or are you, I was going to say, are you gay, but gay guys are the biggest, more bit perverts than us straight guys. But are you retarded? I just fucking laid it out for you. She brought her fucking friend who's a fucking OnlyFans girl and dresses like a fucking porn star around dudes. Like, do you not chub up when you see hot girls? Dear women of the world, When men see hot girls, they get sexually attracted to them. Shocker.
Who's Sean Landerman? This guy is fierce.
Sean, you mean?
Yeah, he came in hot this morning.
Yeah.
This guy's so good.
By the way, you have you have the cleanest aura. You are so fun to be around. When I saw you in the room, you're a light unto yourself, Hunter. What a great thing to see you the other day at CrossFit Malibu.
A beacon of health.
Wow.
You're different. Yeah, I spread my cheeks for you. I totally spread my cheeks for you.
Can you explain to me what the hell we did there the other day?
No, I showed up a half hour. I'll tell you my perspective. Greg wants to present. I showed up a half hour late. I'm not gonna lie. I was in one of those fancy bars, like right down the street, getting wasted.
So you were liquored up already.
Yeah, I was wasted when you saw me.
Fuck, jealous.
And I had spicy margaritas at You, I'm sure you know the place. It's right. It was a block from. It was less. You could throw a rock and hit it.
Were you at Howdy's?
Let me tell you. By the way, the service in Malibu is atrocious.
Yeah, I mean that's part of like the
charm.
Yeah, that's part of the charm. It's just like lazy beach bums that work in these restaurants.
I was at Taverna Tony.
Taverna Tony's amazing.
Yeah. Sitting at the bar.
Malibu is really interesting where it's like it's the richest and most powerful people in the world with like the least amount of structure. And they almost like want it that way. It's meant to be kind of like this getaway Peter Pan style place where nothing's really that serious or strict. Like people ride up and down where you were at on their horses and just shit all over the streets. Like there's not a lot of rules and structure, but that also means when you get inside of a store, you can walk around for 45 minutes and no one will come up if you want help and ask if you want help because just nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone's so rich and yet so uptight. By the way, you're right. Sousa did do that. There's a back room at Taverna Tony's. Sousa walked me back. There were 7 gay dudes and then said he had to go to the bathroom. He came back.
You had a titty freak off.
They knew what time it was. They
knew
knew.
Weird.
The root of this really quick.
Baby oil. He left a bottle of baby oil in the room with the dudes. He's like, "Oh, Sevon, this could be a new sponsor for us," and threw it at me.
The titty freak off story started out with is Diddy after guys or after girls? Because the beginning of these rumors were all about him tearing up dudes. And you know what freaked me out when I listened to that? There's a Biggie Smalls song where at the end he has one of the other rappers take a bunch of ecstasy and then he bones him in the butt to get like jumped into the gang. So that shit's been around in the background of these stories for decades. And now all of a sudden it comes out right away. They're like, yeah, Diddy's just been boning dudes all the time. So is Diddy after dudes or chicks or everybody? Is everybody?
I think he baits and switch. You know, you go to a couple of them, you get a couple hotties, then
that's how you get high averages.
Party.
He's a switch hitter. You know,
Diddy's standing behind you there, naked, ready.
I used to hang out with a bunch of these dudes black dudes who'd all been in San Quentin, and they didn't. I was probably 25 and they were all 40 and over, and they didn't consider sex in prison gay.
That's called dude booty. It's different.
Yeah.
There's something different about dude booty.
I played a clip on my Instagram the other day. It's of this rapper, this comedian. I got my black occupations confused, rapper and comedian. It was this comedian. And did you know, by the way, immigrants are taking black jobs. They're all becoming comedians and rappers.
There's so many curveballs coming at me today.
This comedian said, gay guys must really be gay because women have assholes too. And I was like, wow, that is a fucking great line. I can't believe I've never heard that in my 52 years. And it was so funny. Anyway, I reposted it on my Instagram and I got fucking a ding for it. That's it. That's okay. I'm going to show you a picture. What's the first thing you think, Hunter?
Nice. I mean, did you not think the same thing?
I mean, it's a fucking insane photo. It's so good.
Just reminds me of somebody who.
I would say the majority of that photo is fake, though. Like, have you ever seen the guy who the guy who goes in and looks at all like the pro like influencers pictures and sees them bend into lines.
Yeah, Goob, isn't he great?
I used to date this girl and I didn't really know how to edit photos. Like I still to this day, hand on my heart, don't edit any of my photos. And some of my team edits photos when we take professional ones, but like the iPhone ones, no fucking way. You just see me lifting a weight and then I just go post after writing a sentence. I would sit there and I would see this girl just like scroll, script, but and by the end of the photo, like she was 30% of a different race.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy what she would be able to do with her photos. And I was like, wow. And you can like just take your fingers and move shit around and completely change the way your abdominal, hourglass figure looks. And, that was one of the things that really broke my heart the most is like when I started to really meet my heroes in real life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, dude, these girls are not it. And these dudes are basically G.I. Joes. Like you have this like larger than life appearance. And then this dude who's got these like bicep peaks and crazy pecs and abs and everything. I'm like, you're the size of a squirrel. Like it looks big on you because of just the way that your body's shaped, but you're not who you are in your photos. And yeah, like you realize how many people just manipulate their pictures like crazy. I also didn't realize that like 99% of the people you meet after seeing them on the internet are under 5'10". Anybody who's got like over 100,000 followers most of the time is under 5'10" and is just a master of their craft of manipulation on photos.
I saw this thing the other day where the Liver King was like bearing his soul, talking about how his whole life has been so insecure about being short.
I mean, I wouldn't believe a thing that guy has to say. You know who's the biggest scam artist on the internet right now? Is the other Brian Johnson. So look this guy up. Just open up another tab. Both of these
can I just
guys
ask
are
you one question real quick? I want to show you this. I just want to show you this.
We're not
video
doing
here.
another one of these long YouTube things, bro.
No. You don't have to say it out loud, but which does this look like a CrossFitter's there's a certain CrossFitter that this guy's body reminds me of.
There was like Jason Khalipa back in the day used to really look like that.
Dude, his abs look weird. Like it looks like there's something inside of his abdominals. Like,
that's what happens when you take human growth hormone. Everything grows. All tissues.
Holy shit.
I was looking at this the other day. I'm like, oh my God, he looks just like, and it was a certain CrossFitter.
I don't know.
Lots of Noah guesses.
Oh, Noah Olson's got an abdomen like that. He's got, Noah's got sick abs.
HGH abs.
What was I going to say though? Go to Brian Johnson, the guy who wants to live forever. They're both named Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
That dude is the biggest scam artist on the fucking planet. He spends 18 months on a PR campaign telling everybody he wants to live forever, telling everybody who spends $2 million a year, does all these things. Next thing you know, he's going after all of these companies and selling his own shit. And I don't understand, like, you know how many dumbasses come up to me and they're like, yeah, man, I'm like trying to follow Brian Johnson's routine. And the same fucking thing happened with the Liver King.
People believe that shit? That is like, oh, I'm 40, but my blood is 18.
Dude, this guy looks like a creepy ass, like vampire. Oh, he creeps me the fuck out.
Does he live in your neighborhood?
He looks like a wax doll.
Hey, dude, he looks like everyone at the fucking Taverna. The 8 out of 10 men in Malibu look like this.
Looks like a dude at a Diddy party.
You know that's true. You
Dude,
know that's
he
true.
runs Diddy parties.
Hunter, you know that's true. This is the way they all look at Malibu parties.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Look at that dude. What's happening? Put a soccer ball between those legs and it'd be his fucking high school soccer picture.
Yeah.
I wonder if Goobs looked at his pictures.
The fact that he's wearing a Whoop is a scam also. He's definitely getting paid for that shit.
Oh, look, he uses Matoothian.
What is that?
That's my tooth powder that I'm peddling. I'm grifting.
Do you have a toothpaste?
Dude, if you don't use my tooth powder, you're out of your mind. It's so crazy. I've been brushing like 4 times a day on this
Dude,
trip.
look at that. He's in a picture with all these other creeps.
Oh, yeah.
He's become one of these people. The world is becoming just like the Hunger Games. Like these are the creepy people at the top of the Hunger Games, and we're the idiots buying all their products and doing all the work for them. Like if that guy came over to my house, that'd be the last person that I would idolize. Yet he still somehow is convinced everybody to buy his stuff.
I think that's his son.
What he's doing to his poor boy.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this is what's called Bloody Buddies. I heard about this in Colorado because I met some guys where they were literally selling their blood to rich people and would do blood transfusions. You can get paid like $100,000 a year for it.
These Pornhub intros are getting weird. That's a great one.
Oh my gosh. 38,000 likes.
You gotta admit, that's pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. The guy to the left, I'd rather spend time with than the two next guys on the right. The guy on the left looks like a normal ass dude.
I watched a video on him. He said he's always hungry. He lives in a state of constant hunger.
Hungry for that cack.
Yeah,
Look at that guy.
Something's a little off about that homie.
I watched a couple of the videos. They're a trip. Oh shit! Is this a CrossFit shirt? Don't die.
No, that's him, dude. He's created this new Don't Die Club where it's like, you know, the ageless group. So you guys got to fill me in the inside scoop here. What the hell is going to happen with CrossFit? Like, I feel like there's like this level of crusades where this is what happens at all great empires. Like the underlings always try to take out the guy at the top. Happened to Greg. Now they're trying to kill Dave Castro. And the saddest part about it is it comes from these fucking athletes that think that they get to have like valid opinions because they do heavier power cleans than the average human being. And it's sad, man. The thing that I think a lot of these guys don't notice is I've been part of 3 sports that have died, and you guys are right in the middle of yours dying. You don't even know it. You guys don't even know it, and you're just going to keep on stabbing away until there's no blood left.
McIntire. McIntire.
And paint it all over your face like you've succeeded in some way, shape, or form. And then what you worked so hard for, you were the person that you killed. You killed it.
So, I'll tell you what happened.
Before you get into it, can I just say that we are trying our part with the affiliate video update. So real quickly before I take off, we have uploaded all 200 plus, however many on there, 230 plus videos onto YouTube. And I think what we'll end up doing is releasing all of them to members of the Sevon podcast channel. And if you guys want to start going through and watching them, you could throw in the comments like if you like it or if you don't like it, whatever. And then that'll kind of be like your almost little vote that'll help steer us towards the best
that's
one.
Brilliant, Souza. Yes, please do that. So the video contest, we have over 200 videos. Please go, all the members, please start watching the videos. Up like the ones you like, down like the ones you don't like. Leave really harsh comments, whether they're complimentary, like whether you think the chick's hot in it or whether you think the video is done horribly. And that would help us a ton. You're going to start making those available to the members, Souza?
Yeah, I'll start turning them all on when I get back from the gym before I start my show at 11.
Awesome.
And so between today and tomorrow, you'll be able to watch a bunch of them. They're short. They're 90 seconds long. Some of them are shorter than that. Some of them are really good, highly produced, and some of them need a little work. But you guys could go in there and give us heads up. And then I think we'll just start doing shows on them or something. Bring some guests in. I don't know. We got to figure out exactly the logistics. Of
Winner gets $5,000, guys. Second place, $3,000.
Where do you live, Susan?
I live in Livermore. It's like probably about 30 minutes east of Oakland.
Why?
Good question.
Is it like a post-apocalyptic? I've seen pictures of what goes on up there. Are you terrified?
Oh, dude.
How many guns do you own?
I'm 30 minutes east of that, so I'm sheltered in the suburb here. They keep all that riffraff out.
Dude, to make you aware, one bad thing happens, they come outward and they start eating the people that they get their hands on.
Oh, I know. We've already had a few push out this way.
Dude, as soon as the earthquake happened the other day in Malibu, I immediately contacted people. I'm like, I got to buy guns again. Because
when did you guys have an earthquake?
About 2 weeks ago, I was sitting there doing a live stream and the earthquake shook everything down. What people don't get is like, who cares about the damage to your house? It's the damage to the infrastructure And I watched it happen in Malibu when the fires happened. Like people, the dirty underbelly of society will attack immediately. Like they were coming over the hills on dirt bikes, looting houses and stuff like that. All it takes is just like one bad thing to happen. So I was especially.
You just describe what's happening to CrossFit, by the way. And by the way, Susan lives in a really nice area, by the way. He lives kind of in the, it's like nicer than Napa. It's like wine country, Livermore. It's nice.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Are you a wino?
No.
How'd you end up there?
Not at all. My parents just moved here from Fremont way back when, probably about 30 years ago. Yeah, it was still super small town. It's still a farm town out here. Savon says there's nothing out here when you come out this way, but there's a lot more now than there was.
It's like cows, like there's someone within a mile of everyone within a mile of Souza owns a horse. It's like that. He lives right on the edge of like the country.
Yeah,
when I drive up to the north,
Trump signs and shit. It's good. It's good. Every time I'm always blown away how nice it is up there.
Hitting anything like going up the 5 and then all of a sudden you get to where the shit is, like where the cows are. Are you within that range where it smells like shit all the time?
No. You would have to go another hour east. Yeah. I live next the houses that they have out here in the wine country thing are like, you know, $10-15 million homes that live on estates and shit.
This is
cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's a good spot. He lives on the outskirts. It's kind of like Sacramento. I always thought Sacramento was a shithole until we went to the NorCal Classic and we were out in the sticks and I was like, wow, it is really nice out here. All big, huge ranch style homes. Everyone's got horses and it was cool.
Yeah, similar. And no, Heidi, I don't own a winery right now. It's just a piece of dirt.
I want to secede from the north of California. I think they're the ones who are causing all the problems, and it's trickling down here into Southern California. So fuck you.
Oh please!
Dude, you dirty fucking hippies! You guys are dirty hippies who don't have your shit together. Why do you think our governor lives up there? Because you guys are so easy to manipulate. You guys are easy.
Hey, well,
he's like, hey, buddy, why don't you just suck on this solar panel for a bit and shut up? And you're like,
I'll give that to you if you admit LA is equal, if not worse.
Yeah, dude, you guys brought all the problems down here. It used to just be creepy actors and actresses, and now it's all these weird fucks down here trying to like, I'm trying to invest and I'm gonna be part of the tech boom. All the douchebags and the tech companies came down here and started buying up real estate and building up their infrastructure down here. And now it sucks. You guys killed Venice.
Hey, dude, you should come up and we'll take you on a little San Francisco, like West Oakland tour. And you could come.
I used to love San Francisco. Like San Francisco was cool. Too. But I need to take a flamethrower to everybody who works under Alphabet and Twitter. All these douchebags that make like $300,000 a year and type in zeros and ones and think that they have any valid like value in this world. We need to burn them out.
All those douchebags who make $300,000 a year, by the way, are living in 1-bedroom apartments.
I know, but they came down here and they just sit here and they fester with their stupid opinions. And then they come out into the streets of LA and fuck it up for me.
The real Kevin Hunter, the rest of the country feels the same way about your entire state. Fair enough.
Entire state, dude. Shut up, dude. You live in Kansas. You're a flyover state, you piece of crap.
All right. Fair enough, too. All right.
So, yeah, we'll have the affiliate videos ready for review within the next day or two. That is the update. But they're all uploaded. And now I got to go run
videos.
Bye. Thank you, Susan.
Videos. Bye. Hunter, good to see you, as always.
It's always a pleasure, dude. Take care, dude.
Thank you for blessing us. Later, dude. Bye.
We have these affiliate videos where like it's like this.
I'm Krista Pongwart. This is Tobias Pongwart.
And they're like 30 seconds to 90 seconds each. We did an affiliate contest with Two Brain Business. And we got 200 of them. We basically just wanted to show two things. We wanted to support the affiliates, but we wanted to show we could do CrossFit HQ's job 1,000 times better in 3 months than they've done in the last 5 years. And we did it. We proved it.
I will say this. When I first got into CrossFit, I got 5 certifications. I was so excited. It seemed like there was like this movement towards higher education and like just like a great centralized hub for sport and growth and all this kind of stuff. And then I think probably around like 2015, 2016, it started to change a lot. And especially as it got closer to 2020, it was like gone. Like nobody gave a shit about certifications or education or like movement. after that, at least from what I could tell.
So I want to go back to what you were saying. It was what's happening with CrossFit. So basically what happened, I used to have these 3 Great Danes, Hunter. And
Nice.
And we all lived together and we were all a happy, merry family. And then one day I went out of town for 2 weeks. I went to the East Coast and I had never been away from my dogs. And I let my friend watch my dogs. I asked my friend if he'd watch my dogs. And on the second day, he said, "Hey, dude, your dog's got into a fight." And I'd had these dogs. The oldest dog was 13 and the youngest dog was like 4. And my dogs had never been in a fight with each other before. So I realized, and my friend's kind of a pussy, not kind of a pussy. He's a total gentle giant guy. And so I realized, oh, the dogs don't have an alpha there. I was the alpha and now I'm gone. So they're reworking the pecking order. So I come back home. They don't have another fight. And then the alpha, the oldest one, eventually died. And within 24 hours of him dying, the other 2 started fighting. And that's basically what's happened to CrossFit in the last four years. There's absolutely no leadership. It's just a rudderless ship floating out, bobbing around at sea. And so everyone's vying to take control of the ship. There's just absolutely no leadership. And so that's the big picture view. That's my opinion of it.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with somebody who used to be part of like the original, like the old guard of Spartan Race. So Spartan Race, like you started out in 2010, like around the time like CrossFit started to really, it was before that, but like it started to catch on around 2010. Around 2012, 2013, they got their title sponsorship from Reebok. It started to like really grow until about 2016, it was really growing. ESPN, NBC, like all this kind of
Who
stuff.
owns Spartan Race? That was the Joe guy.
His name's Joe DeSena, but I believe they sold a lot of their design, like a lot of their equity to a company called Raptor Capital. And it started to change, like, you know, and they brought this guy in. Fuck it, I'll say his name. His name was God, he's a piece of shit South African. Oh, David Watson. And Joe kind of turned his back on, not turned his back, like I can't really blame him, but the company got so big that he was like kind of always out way ahead of the ship, kind of doing all these random like jobs. Like he was picking up Spartan wrestling. He would go do the Spartan death race. He was doing all sorts of stuff. And he forgot about the core values of the company. And then they started firing all the race directors that were like really the big people, the great designers. And it started to get cut down more and more and more to like a smaller crew. And they started overextending their budget and their growth with a small team that didn't have a lot of experience or commitment.
Hey, dude, by the way, just really quick, that's exactly what you described about CrossFit. They brought in executives from the outside and they just gutted the company and got rid of all the people who had the knowledge and understood the culture. Go on.
Yeah, but that's what happened. And then all of a sudden, the professional side of the sport was now managed by this guy named David Watson. And like, he just killed it. Like he was no longer part of the, like growing, cultivating, communicating, like, you know, all of these things that really made it a community. And there was no more touch points of value. It was just like emails. So this is funny. If you go look behind, like when I'm doing my podcast, I have a jersey up on the wall that says Hunter the Magnificent. Mm-hmm. So just some random person in the company contacted me for my season jerseys, and they wrote me and they were like, what can you send? They only had my email. They're like, please send us your name, your birthday, everything for jerseys. So I just typed in as a joke, Hunter, last name Magnificent. They sent me my jerseys. When I got there for the first NBC race, the staff were furious. They're like, what the fuck is this, Hunter? You're supposed to have your name on here, because nobody was paying attention anymore. Right. And just moving forward and doing things without looking anything over. Nobody knew who the fuck I was in the new side of the company, even though I had been the face of the brand for years. And it just got to that point where nobody cared. And by the time 2018, 2019 came around, it was just going upside down. And now it's dead. Like, so I was talking to the Spartan staff.
It is dead? They don't do they do Spartan races anymore?
No, I mean, they still have really, really high participation numbers, but it's no longer a sport. It's no longer, like, pro athletes don't go anymore. Like, they have the pro wave, but it would be the equivalent of just like, let's just say not even the top 40 CrossFitters in the world were there at the games. So it died. They completely.
Where are they now? Where are they now?
I'd say like 20 to 30% of them went to High Rocks. Another 20 to 30% of them went to professional trail running. And then 50% or so have just quit completely.
That's what Sevon wants for CrossFit.
Nice.
Has it been better for Spartan Race and just bad for the pro athletes?
Well, it's bad for the pro athletes. Spartan Race doesn't give a shit. I mean, I don't think they care. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like they don't care. They just made sure that they could just keep on churning numbers through and just keep on making money as lean as possible.
But why should they care about the pro athletes if it's only like the top 40 that they lost?
I mean, in reality, dude, like if you think about a lot of companies, like let's just say like a normal car company, like Dodge makes trucks and sedans and minivans, but then they have the Dodge Viper. It's just a small chapter of their business, which ends up being kind of like a flagship part of it. Like, if you think about Dodge, like a lot of people will think of like Rams and Dodge Viper, or like, you know, they just have that one thing. Ford has the Ford GT, but then it has the entire mid-sized line for everybody else where they make their real money. Right. So it's your choice if you want to completely kill off your performance line, but that's really what it was. And to me, it's like, you know, sure, they may not make a ton of money off of it, but as long as it's like kind of like a net zero plus maybe a little bit of money, it does help the brand. Because I'll admit, I go to trail races still and go to events still, and people are wearing Spartan shirts and all of these kind of things. It's kind of like the Harley Davidson culture. And like, you want to make sure that there's those diehard people that always wear the fuck out of the brand and just promote it without you having to ask.
Hold that thought. I have to go drop a deuce.
My name's Josué Bocanegra. I'm originally from Mexico. I'm 27 and I go to Salty Eye CrossFit. When I came in here, I was 195, almost 200 pounds, and I had never been that heavy, like ever. And then I got in here, started eating well. You know, we have the consistency is key. That's always, like, I don't know, like ever since I heard it here, like it was always in my head. And it didn't just apply to the gym, it applied to my eating habits, to my workouts, to even like just work, school. Consistency is key. So I started eating healthier, started avoiding sugars, I started avoiding candy because I love candy. I try to avoid it as much as possible, and I'm now 169 pounds this morning actually. And I don't feel skinny either. It's like I'm actually fit, which is awesome, you know? I think it's the most fit I've ever been in my entire life, regardless of playing soccer in high school. Actually trying for a while to get my dad in here because he's struggled with obesity throughout his life. What I tell him all the time is like, you got to get in here because it's not just the gym. It's not just you get in there and people may be just judging you for what you're doing. No, it's a community. It's somewhere where they'll help you actually improve and not just lose weight and actually get strong and actually get fit. And it's so much more than a gym. That's what I tell him.
Did you really just poop? Oh, fuck. Listen, guys, I didn't sign up for this. He's been putting on some weird stuff today. And I don't really know what the fuck, but not with it. You guys are killing CrossFit, by the way. You guys are to blame.
That might not be the only emergency deuce. Wow, that's a good God. Thank God you're the guest this morning.
Oh,
my butthole is burning right now. I had too much hot sauce. So you're saying that the pro version brought brand value, little je ne sais quoi.
For sure, dude. For sure. Because you got to understand, like, I don't know. The Olympics probably financially have their own success, but it is just one of these kind of like the high watermark for the entire track and field society that people like keep the entire chain flow moving. You don't have to have people that are, you know, you don't have to have this aspect of the business making all of the money, but it can be just one of these kind of high watermarks for people to kind of look up to. There's a reason.
Did the prize money go away? Did the prize money go away?
It's dead, dude. I mean, there were races where they were giving away $100,000. There were some really, really solid years where they were giving away a shit ton of money. Like it was a great career. It really was.
You're saying private equity took over and it became about the bottom line, and they found it to be more profitable to take away the pros?
I guess so. I mean, listen, when I'm saying this stuff, I'm saying it from like the outside in. Like I don't have guarantees on any of this kind of
Not
stuff.
only the outside in, but from the tip of the spear. You were the best in the world. Were you the best Spartan racer in the world?
On and off, yeah. I could never win the world title though. That was too long.
What do you mean? And why not? What about it didn't? You had to be a better runner, like a skinnier guy.
It was really interesting. Like all year round, we would have races that were 6 to 8 miles, and then the world title was 17 in Tahoe. It would just be like it'd just be so brutally hard. There's guys like Ryan Atkins, John Albin, Hobie Call, Cody Moat, and these guys, like I outweighed Cody Moat by maybe 70 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was one of these kind of things where it's to my advantage in high rocks now, but back then, like as an endurance athlete, my engine could only run that hot for about 50, 60 minutes. Otherwise I would just die out.
Last night I went to a Mexican restaurant with my kids.
Are you talking about the one that's down on the water there with the rats that were going through the wall?
Oh, right next to that place.
Do you remember that? The kids were going nuts. They were so excited, and I was trying to catch the rats behind the neon signs.
Behind the TV set.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Anyway, I wasn't going to eat there, and then one of my kids didn't finish his quesadilla, so I went and asked for a big scoop of hot sauce and put it on the quesadilla and ate it, and it just came out. I apologize. Fine. You know when you take a deuce and it takes a little while for your butthole to close back up? Mine's like, while I'm talking to you now, mine's like
still puckering and burning. You know what's interesting? So, parasites are like a major issue globally. Like most people don't want to talk about it, but parasites are inside of all of us. Third world countries tend to have extremely spicy food. Like you go to India and stuff, and it literally just destroys their digestive tract and anything that's in there. So it keeps the parasites down at a lower level. It's pretty crazy how they're just like self-regulating with their own food. And us over here in America, living off primarily like sugar and salt, I bet you we probably have higher levels of parasites than we do in these third world countries.
And the Russians do it with a shot of vodka.
Dude, there was this one place called Sammy's Romanian. It was like a Russian Jew place down in, I can't remember where it was, in Manhattan, and they would serve you ice cold vodka that was so cold it almost came out like a syrup. That was really, really cool.
The difference with CrossFit is they have those other two, Spartan Race was this event where people showcase their fitness, right? But CrossFit has this seminar wing and the affiliates, which are significant, which are the driving economic force of the company.
Oh my
so
God.
So when you say it's dying, it'll be interesting to see. It won't die the same way other things die if it dies.
Well, I think
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, my foot's cramping up. I think it won't die, but it may not grow.
Well, it's definitely not growing. It's contracting right now. It's like,
remember F45.
Say that again.
It'll become like F45.
Yeah, and that's scary. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this, but Starbucks at one point closed a third of its stores. Like it exploded, and then I want to say like in 2013 or something, it closed like a third of its stores, and so it contracted. And what I'm guessing is CrossFit will eventually have another like run. That it won't that it's not going to vanish. But the problem right now is there's no leadership. Go ahead.
You need a good figurehead. I don't know what the heck Greg was trying to say the other day, but I don't know if he has it in him anymore to be that figurehead. Because what happened the other day, like as much as I liked his company, it seems that he's not on a roll like he used to be. He's not on this. I think he's probably stepped out of that chapter of his life where he's ready to just go to war.
He's ready to go to war, but he's not ready. I was there for the last 90 minutes, and all the questions were about stuff that he's not interested in anymore. He doesn't want to talk about push press. He doesn't want to talk about cold tubs. He doesn't want to talk about insulin.
I was there for the first 30%, dude. whatever it was. He doesn't have an agenda.
Yeah. So he didn't give a broken science talk there?
It was a very weird version of broken science. Like he didn't have direction. Like I go around and I teach seminars. Like
Right.
I don't step in there very loosely and be like, hey guys, we're just going to talk about fitness today. Like, no, I have an agenda. We go, I lead it. I try to create direction. I try to create value. There was none of that. Like, not that
Yeah,
he was
the ones
being
I've
like,
been to, there's crazy direction. That's why it was weird. When I showed up the last 90 minutes, I was like, oh shit, this is not what any of the stuff I thought he'd be talking about.
but those were his like original disciples. Like a lot of those people in there, that's where I was really confused. I was like, dude, these people have owned CrossFit gyms for almost decades. I think CrossFit LA is on the 20th year, and everyone was kind of sitting there. And well, I don't know, man. Like I don't want this to come across that I'm bashing the guy. I think the guy is rock star, but you probably need a new fresh face in there, or whether or not, like, I don't think what the hell is his name?
Don?
Well, the guy who's a CEO right now, he's a wet noodle, dude. I wouldn't trust that guy to do anything for me. And then you got the other guy who's the Dave Castro. I don't think he's going to do it. So you probably got to have somebody else coming in there.
No one's going to let them do it.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, whoever ends up buying CrossFit's going to get it for probably 25 cents on the dollar of what it used to be, because it doesn't really hold a ton of like value.
Here's the problem. The kind of people who buy CrossFit are buying it as an emotional buy. They're buying it like the same way someone would buy a baseball card.
Sure, but anybody who's coming with that kind of money, that's not an emotional buy.
I mean,
unless you're a billionaire, like that, like let's just say Mark Zuckerberg is bored and he's like, hey, I'm going to buy CrossFit.
Right.
There's nobody coming for that thing though, unless it's a money grab.
Well, then they better not buy CrossFit because there's no money there.
Yeah. That sucks.
There's absolutely, yeah. Rosa was an emotional buy for sure. Rosa was a complete emotional buy. He had no idea what he was buying.
Well, I think he seems smart. I was around him a fair amount, though, not a ton, at the Boulder, because he owned CrossFit Encinitas, whatever the hell it was called. At any time anytime I witnessed the guy in his space, he was not like a Greg Glassman type or a Dave Castro type. There wasn't a lot of like radiating confidence and energy.
No, I think he has autism or something. I'm not like using that term loosely. I think something's off with him.
A lot of the smartest people do. Yeah.
Was Hunter's sweater an emotional buy?
I think everything I do is emotional buy.
Hunter, how many times did you win High Rocks?
The World Championships or in general? I've only lost 3 times, and I probably raced like 40 times.
And how many times have you won the World Championships?
3 times.
And so you went for your 4th world title this time.
Yeah.
And you took 5th. Is that the worst finish you've ever taken?
Yeah.
In any High Rocks race?
Yeah. I completely fried myself this season trying to like hit a 50-minute world record, because the last one was a 53, and then in training I did a 51. I was like, I can do it, and I just kept on going super fucking hard and burnt myself out. And I'm still not the same person, unfortunately. I'm getting a lot better, but I completely wrecked myself. Like I've had to like start working with all these coaches on really studying my central nervous system and my energy systems. Like it's crazy how burnt out I still am from it.
So can you walk me through that a little bit more? So not this last one, but the year before when you won the world title.
Yeah.
And what was your time?
There was a 56, but
and what was the next closest time?
2 minutes behind me. It was like a 58.
And so then all of a sudden you get this desire. How old are you?
I'm 35.
And so you get this desire like, hey, I probably only have 1 or 2 chances to set some sort of crazy record. So I'm going to alter my training and go for some fucking insane record. And you fucked your own training up.
Well, the way I look at it is this, like, we're different than CrossFit. So think about us more so in like track and field or triathlon. There's a set amount of work, and it's just how much can you hack away at it? How fast can you get it done? So in my mind, it takes about 300 hours worth of extensive work to go and have another world record in between records. And you have to like go up on top of the shelf. So let's just say the death zone, like at Everest, and then you have to come back down because you can't stay up there for long. And a lot of people may not understand this.
Is that peak? Like you peak, you can only peak for so long.
You're peaking. And as soon as you peak, it's like, you ever like swing a hammer super hard and hit something and it like reverberates back and it hurts your hand a little bit? The harder you swing and go for these world records, the harder it reverberates back into your body. So that's much like I was trying to tell you, like how much it's affecting my system. So like this right here, unless you really know how to use it, this is not going to make a lot of sense to people. But this is an app that I use right here where you can see it tracks your body's ability to train. So if you look right here, my readiness is a 1. A 1
right
out of, yeah. So like I'm fried. I still am fried. And like I'll come up and then I'll train.
What are the metrics that app uses? What is that metric that app uses?
So it's using central nervous system, your body's oxidative system, your body's coordination system. You've got all these wires all over your body. And
how often do you do that?
I do it every day now. And the thing was that what I didn't do is I didn't do it last season. I was just using kind of like other metrics and it was stupid of me. Can I share my screen?
I think so.
Share screen.
Down on the bottom, click around on something. Go to like.
So this is how, like, if you look at my screen right here, do you see this line?
Yeah.
So what I did is you can see I'm training here from October. It's very low training. And then in February, I spiked it up as hard as I could. So I got way up on top of the shelf and tried to go as hard as I could. And right here in the end of April, I set the world record at my house. And I was like, you saw I did all this training from February, hard work. So almost like double the amount of work you can see. And I started picking it up again. And right around here, I crashed and I never recovered after that all the way to the race in June. And then you can see I slowly started to pick it back up again. And now I'm starting to come back up on the shelf because I'm going to try to set a world record in January again. But like, that's the way that we at least do it. And for me, I got way too high up and I crashed. I couldn't hold it.
So someone in the comments wrote, I wish I could find the comment, but basically what you did was here it is. He tried to lose weight to improve his power to weight ratio like a Tour de France GC rider. Is that a really simplistic way to say it, that you tried to get faster and you lost something else?
Yeah. So the way that I look at setting world records is basically I look at these 3 principles.
Are you wearing that sweater because you think you look fat today?
No, dude. Look at this. Okay. Look underneath here. Look at this vascularity. Did you see that chest definition?
I just saw your tits move under there. That's good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to make sure you weren't masking like a fucking beer belly or something. I mean, you looked amazing a week ago, but a lot can happen in a week.
No, I'm up at the cabin, dude. It's kind of cold. So the way I look at setting records is I look at the principle of power, weight, and endurance in economy. So the idea is basically to set a record, you can increase your power, you can increase your endurance, and then you have to manipulate the weight. And you're going to have to add weight to add power. You're going to have to potentially lose weight to increase your endurance and economy. And what I was looking at was that 300-hour rule. I was like, okay, I just set the world record. I was like, I don't have 300 hours between now and when I have to go win the world title. So what I'm going to do is basically, I'm just going to try to cut as much weight as possible. And that will just basically tip the scale of my power to weight ratio and make it go up. And I started to lose weight. And I said right around that April time, I was 195 pounds and I was fucking killing it. I had come down from 218 pounds down to 195. And right around that mark is when I just snapped. And I said, I still haven't recovered.
What do you normally race at? What your fastest time? How much did you weigh when you did your fastest time?
210.
Wow. And so you tried to do a fast, you went and you did the last world championships at 195?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see I'm a lot smaller. So
a simplistic look at it would be like drop a shitload of weight very quickly prior to the race and hopefully keep to increase your endurance, but hopefully keep your power.
yeah, just imagine trying to do Murph with a weight vest versus without one. Like
Right.
you'd fly. You'd fly in theory. And like, I was there for a second, but then I lost it. And what ended up happening was I was living in an altitude tent. I was dieting and I was doing a crazy amount of volume. So I was really suppressing myself because I was giving myself no oxygen at nighttime. I'd be in the tent for 10 hours and I was giving myself no calories, and calories is energy and recovery. And oxygen is recovery as well. It's your body's ability to just absorb oxygen and fuel the system. And I was starving both that as I was trying to get to the moon. So it was just a crazy plan. It would have been fucking sweet. Like I wouldn't be complaining if I had made it. But in reality, like, if you're going to try to set world records, you got to do crazy shit.
Do you consume anything during a High Rocks race?
No, I don't.
No. Does anybody?
I have enough energy. Some people do. I don't think it helps. Not that I can tell.
So there's not at some point you squeeze a gel in your mouth or anything during a race?
Not really. I mess around with it in training, but it's hard, man. I mean, you got to understand, like you're going all out.
So tell me, when do you get to, when was that last race? April?
No, June.
Why do they do world championships twice a year? Why is there one in January?
There's not one in January.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to go for the record again in January.
I'm going to go. So you can race all year long. You don't have to set the world record at the championship.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for a world record in January in Vegas.
Okay. Does that stress you out saying that out loud?
No. I mean, you have to like, put a goal up there and you have to hold yourself accountable. The biggest thing that I have to do right now is I just have to work with my team on just getting my like energy back. So I can do as much endurance as I want right now, but what I can't really do is intensity. Once you fry your nervous system, your body's ability to generate that like last amount of voltage that really is necessary to have crazy high outputs, my body's too fried to sustain it.
So, where was the world championships this last one?
Nice in France.
So you get there and, do you know that something's wrong?
Oh, I knew something was wrong in May.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Not what I could really do about it.
Well, May's after the event. The event was in April.
No, the event was in June.
Oh, June. Sorry. I'm getting my shit all confused. Okay. And so in May, how do you know something's wrong? What you're at home training? You're like, uh-oh.
Well, like I couldn't even train. I was going up and trying to do like the basic, and I would do 3 like savage workouts a week, probably too much. And every single time I was coming in, I was setting a record. Like I would just be taking the treadmill and I would drop it down a point on the treadmill. And I was running my intervals at sub 5-minute miles and sustaining it while holding these crazy paces on the stations. And I was just like, it was just check mark after check mark after check mark. And I'm contacting my coach. I'm like, just another PR, give me more work, another PR, give me more work. And I remember the day that it happened. I set the world record. And then a day afterwards, I went out and I should have recovered, but I got on a bicycle.
World record at? You have a course at your house? You have your own little High Rocks?
I have it all built out. So like I've been able to do the High Rocks in its totality, in its entirety at my house since 2021.
Okay.
So I have the turf, I have the equipment. So basically what I did was I was just pushing really fucking hard. I set the world record, and instead of recovering the next day, I got on a bicycle and did this loop that usually takes me 3.5 hours. And I did it in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm a fucking god. And then after that, I never recovered. I just never came back. And what was happening was I would go into the gym and you get up to a certain level of intensity, and like where I start to just kick my jet engines in around 165 beats per minute, I would just start spinning out. I couldn't hold on to the treadmill pace. I would have to sit down. I'd feel all flushed and like out of it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Dude, I can ski under 130 with just my arms. And I was going full body, full contraction on the ski erg. And I was barely breaking 140. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And now I'm good again. But as I said, I can't sustain it. So I have to really just keep on playing this game of like getting a little bit of edge and then backing off a ton.
And the sustain means you need to be able to do that for 55 minutes.
Well, just imagine doing the workout Fran. Let's say you get through the 21s like a beast, but then all of a sudden after that, like you're dropping the bar every 2 to 3 reps on the 15s and the 9s. Like that's the difference between somebody who can sustain and somebody who's just like blew their wad. And that's the difference between like a great athlete. I tell everybody in seminars, I'm like, everybody in this room can run a 4-minute mile for this long, but the best athletes are the ones that can sustain it. They built the energy systems. They built the ability to hold that pace effortlessly. And like, that's what I can't do right now.
Rick, shit, I get to 168 and I feel like I'm dying.
That's right, baby.
So you get to the event in Nice, and at what time does it start in the morning?
No, it started at nighttime, 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. And what time do you get there?
I mean, I didn't get there until like 4.
Okay, so you get there at 4, 2 hours early. And how are you feeling?
I mean, I just basically was like lying to myself and my coach. I was like, dude, there's only one way to do this and just not to talk about it.
Okay, so you do start lying to yourself.
Oh, you had to, dude. I stopped wearing, like, I wear a smartwatch at all times. And like, I'm constantly tracking my heart rates and everything about my training. So it's the only way to really keep an eye on what you've got going on. And I had to take it off because every time I looked at my data, my resting heart rate was 10 beats high. I couldn't hold anything. Like, so I was like, fuck this. I can't look at it. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to race.
And because the watch was telling you the truth and you didn't want to deal with the truth.
Oh yeah. Like everything was just like, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked.
Wow. Any metric in specific that you saw on there the week before that day that you were like, this is bad?
Oh no, I stopped wearing a watch in May. I stopped wearing a watch like 5 weeks beforehand, 4 weeks beforehand.
Okay. So you go in there basically blind.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm assuming they put you up in the front, right? Every time the fastest guys are up in the front.
There's just Elite 15. Everybody just enters the room and like, you know, you get listed off, and seeing how I held the record, I was the last person. Like they announce you based off your qualifying times. So I held the world record. So I was the last person to go out in front of everybody.
And then you get out there and it's 3, 2, 1, go. And how long are you able to lie to yourself before you're like, fuck this, like this is now a reality?
Well, dude, the crazy thing is nobody's run ahead of me before. And literally these guys got to the skier 5 seconds ahead of me, and everybody was right alongside of me, which never happens. And then we're skiing. And as I said, I couldn't hold the pace I normally do. I usually beat these guys by 8 to 15 seconds out of the skier because I'm so strong. And then all of a sudden I get out and they're ahead of me, and then all of a sudden I start to go. And I'm like, this is where I go. Like, this is where I'm just kind of like a snow plow. I just blast through where most people are spinning out and can't keep pace. I just blast through. And all of a sudden I got up to pace and I got past them. And then all of a sudden I was like, all right, kick Hunter. And it was just as if I was spinning out. I was like, I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. And we literally, myself and the 2 other guys who ended up getting on the podium, the first and second place guy, they were literally shoulder to shoulder with me for the whole rest of the race. And then by the farmer's carry, which is a joke for me, like I never put it down. I had to put down the kettlebells because I couldn't even sustain holding 2 little 70-pound kettlebells. Like right now, I put 260 to 280 pounds on the bar for my farmer carry on each hand, and I'll go back and forth with it. No problem. And I couldn't even hold on to these things for 30 seconds straight. And that's how fried my system was. And by the time I got to the finish line, dude, 2 other guys passed me then. And it was just crazy. Like everything was in slow motion. I was just like, this is so fucking nuts. Like it wasn't like, I don't want to disrespect the other guys, but like, I'll be honest, like, I beat myself before I even got to the race. Like, nobody had these crazy fast times. Like, nothing was incredible. It wasn't like, wow, we're watching history in the making. It was just like everybody else was running their race and I was just falling backwards. Like, I was just
What was the winning time?
58. So I was like 5 minutes slower than my world record.
How did your body feel heavy?
No, I just couldn't move. So like the idea is it's like, I don't know. Let's just say that like you're used to going out there and running 7-minute miles when you go for a jog. Imagine for some reason there was just like this unpermeable layer that wouldn't let you go past an 8-minute mile. You're just like, you just like couldn't get through it. You're like, what the fuck is going on? And that was something that was wrong. Like, it was terrible, dude. I had my girlfriend out there with me at the time. She came and we were both staying in Chamonix. And like, you know, I'm sitting there like privately panicking. Like, there's no fucking way I'm going to confide in my girlfriend and say that I'm fucked. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I went and got on the treadmill and I just was like spinning out, just soaked in sweat. And it was just crazy. Like, it was crazy to sit there and just like witness it. And she was witnessing it. And we were both just like acting like nothing's wrong. And I just kept on saying nothing's wrong, all the way up until the start of the race. And then it just started and it was like, this is undeniable. There's something very wrong. So
you wish you wouldn't have raced?
Not really. I mean, like, obviously it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that like I lost. And ever since then, like everybody under the sun says that they've got my ticket this next year and that they're going to set the world record and my time has passed, which obviously like it's happened to me before. So it's like, I'm used to it, but you know, the reality is I had dedicated this to my team, my sponsors. I'm just not the kind of guy who pulls out because I know the odds are against me. Like, I like the odds being against me. That's what's always interested me in sport. So it was what it was.
Yeah. Some people in the chat are disappointed or surprised you have a girlfriend. Hunter has a girlfriend.
I did have a girlfriend at the time.
I didn't receive my invite. I can't believe Hunter got into a relationship before me.
Yep.
Is her name Bella Martin? Were you banging Bella Martin?
No.
Okay. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, no, I definitely know her. We've worked together a bunch.
So now will this be your last hurrah, you think?
I don't think so. I mean, I really do want to paddle my way to the Olympics. Like, I think that would be great. And I do have to start spending some time. I do have to start spending some time on that because like 2028 is really not that far away if you really want to make it to the Olympics. But the interesting thing about High Rocks is like, it's just like, it's kind of in its infancy and just starting to grow. And the thing is that, like, truth be told, I would have quit a long time ago if I was getting worse, but I just keep on getting better. Like, I have set the world record in this sport ever since I started. I got my first world record in 2021, the very beginning of it. And I've just kept on setting world record after world record, and almost every year won the world title. And I think that's kind of like the thing that I have to be smart about now. Like, I'm not getting old in the way that like I am really getting old. I just need to be really smart about, hey man, like if you're just going to keep on climbing up into this stratosphere where the air is thinner and thinner, you have to be smarter about how you get there and how you come back down and how often you come back down. And, you know, for me, I have to like let go of my ego a little bit when I'm working with my coaches. I still have a lot of control issues with that kind of shit. So I'm trying my very best to like work with people that are real professionals at understanding my body. So things have changed, like for the better. As I said, like I set some records this summer in lifting, and usually when I'm setting records in lifting, shortly thereafterwards, I'm able to set a record in High Rocks because I can hold more power for long periods of time. So as long as I just like am smart about what I'm doing, I could probably pull off another 2 to 4 years of crazy fast times.
Hunter, you would be so much better at coastal rowing than have, I don't know what the rest of that is. It makes its first appearance in 2028. What do you know what coastal rowing is?
I do, but I think the rowing thing is one of these pieces where it's like a height-based sport. Those guys are humongous.
Oh.
And you
Like
should
tall.
look up this guy named Rowing Finn on Instagram. He's the guy who is currently like the best long distance rower. He rowed a 2:29 marathon.
What's his name?
Rowing Finn, like rowing Finn. See if you can find him.
Oh, got him. Oh, is he a Finnish dude?
Yeah, I mean, dude, look at this guy. He literally looks like the like that stone guy from Fantastic Four. It's crazy. Like, I don't know how he's so muscular.
And he's a giant dude. He's giant. Oh, he's a giant.
Fucking freak, dude. I mean, look at his legs. Look at the veins coming out. They're like garden hoses. But go up for a second. Go to that pinned one up at the top. He's a pinned one. Go up higher. Click that one right there. The 4,000 likes. I think the one on the left. Is this the one where, yeah, world record? Dude, that's his fucking marathon row time. That's gross.
And what it's at 42,195 meters. No sweat on him. Let me see if there's a close. Oh, here we go.
220. A 220.
Wow.
Dude, he was
Jason
rowing.
Khalipa could do that. Jason Khalipa could do that.
I don't think so, dude.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But I mean, dude, the last, just to give you guys this freak look, I have rowed a 6:07 max effort, and this guy was 15 seconds behind that on his very last 2,000. Like,
yeah, that's
that
crazy.
Is insane. Every single time that guy just decides to pull his arm, he pulls with so much force, he could shatter your arm.
So these are his 2,000 meter times, 6:38.
Oh my god, dude, it's gross. It's such
6:38, 6:39, 6:38, 6:37, 6:34, 6:22.
It's insane.
He rode his last 500 at 1:28.
I know. Oh no, he rode just like a chunk of time, but they're for 34 seconds. But it's just
okay.
insane.
Oh, sorry. He did 500 meters and No.
It's just that last bit that he had, because it's only 195 meters for the last chunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's some sports where you're just like, never. Like, I consider myself to be a fit guy, but not only is this guy's body designed for that, but I don't even think if I don't know if my body was that big, if I could generate that much force. So this guy is doing rowing in the wakes right there. That's like that ocean stuff that they're talking about. And he's in that sport, and he will hurt you. He will hurt your feelings 9 times out of 10.
Have you met this dude?
No, I've DM'd him a couple times, and he just doesn't give a shit about answering. He gives me like 1-word answers. I was like, I'd love to interview you. And he's like, I row. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Dude, look at his arms and look at his quads. It's just such a freak.
The guys that you raced against at the last Worlds, the 5 guys who came ahead of you, are all of them younger than you?
No, one of them's older, 2 of them are older.
Okay, so age isn't a thing.
No. Age is not really a thing in endurance sports. Like, I used to get my ass kicked when I was younger by a couple of these guys in their late 30s, early 40s. Like, my mentor, Holby, called, I mean, he was a weapon to the age of 40. He won the world title again, his 3rd world title in our sport at the age of 40, against guys who are probably like John Albin, who was competing in that race, is probably the 2nd best trail runner in the world right now. And those guys are equally as talented as the people that you're seeing in these, like, you know, track and field Olympics. They're freaks. I don't know if you ever like study like Killian Jornet. He's kind of really out of your realm, but what that guy does.
What's his name?
Killian Jornet. He's a Spanish guy, Spaniard, like a mountain Spaniard. There's probably nobody in the world right now, if ever, who's ever had that level of talent and output as far as running goes. I mean, it's just insane.
I spelled his name wrong. Killian Jornet. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, he looks weathered.
Well, yeah, he's just kind of killing himself from running. But
is this the guy?
No, but the guy just below him, John Albin's the guy that we used to race against. And
this Killian Jornet, this isn't the guy?
Killian Jornet is the best mountain runner. He's not the guy who used to compete against me.
Oh, right.
Like one of my,
he doesn't have any running on his Instagram. It's all snow shit.
Well, yeah, he's a mountaineer guy, so he does a lot of like trail racing, mountaineering. Like his brand is so good that they're just really like this one right here. Like I think it's called Zegma. The one, see the one where he's crossing with all like the confetti. Like that's him in a race. Sierra Zanal. I mean, he's ripping up like world-class marathon racers and these things, and he's just a freak.
And it's basically marathons in the mountains?
Yeah. Look at him. He's pretty shredded too.
Yeah. Hey, what is this? The one Spartan race I went to, Hobie won wearing a weight vest.
Yeah, that's way back when, but he's a beast.
Hey, where is the demarcation line? Where is the line between being a studio hoe and not? Where's the line on social media of being a hoe?
I don't know, man.
Is there one?
People just got to be really careful. Like I don't know what's going on with our culture now, but like I don't know. Like I said this the other day. If you look at men in the fitness world, like bodybuilding world, like they're like showing like their arms and their abs and their legs. A lot of the female versions of that, they're only taking their pictures from the back. So you're basically like only just trying to show your rump. And if you look at a lot of girls in fitness, all of their fitness videos start from their ass forward shot. And you're just like, what was the point of that? Like, why that angle? And then that's like the lowest form of kind of like, I don't really get why you're doing it like that. It's kind of a little bit suggestive to just like moving all the way up to basically the people that you were showing before, where it's just softcore porn all over Instagram. Like
if you're laying in, let's just make some absurd. If you're laying in a hotel room on a bed with the door open and there's a sign on the door that says "Come in," and you're face down, naked, ass up, with a box of condoms there and some lube, is that pretty clear that you want it?
I don't know. I think you took it a little bit far. I don't know how we got to the point where there was all those.
I mean, we have to start somewhere where it's like, hey, I am completely selling my So if you go to that that first girl I showed you with 4.6 million followers, the one that said Kanye and Diddy pulled off her top or ripped her top off in the studio. If you go to her Instagram and you look at her comments, it's 500 comments of your husband's so lucky he gets to bend you over. I can't believe how good it must be to bone you. I can't believe how fucking hot you are. What can I do to get with you? Like, that's all it is. And so at some point you can say all day, all you want, she's not asking for it. Okay, that's fine. But at what point is it that, like, at what point are you asking for it? Is there a point where you are asking for it? Like, where is that point? And then to walk back from there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll admit, like, for myself,
point where you're asking for it and then walk it back from there.
I will put Like I lose interest in somebody if I see what they're posting on social media is in that context. I'm like,
yeah,
you're
me
looking
too.
you're looking for a lot of attention. It's like what are you aiming for by suggesting and posting these kind of things? Like you can find out someone's intentions pretty quickly. And you're just like, somebody needs a lot of attention. A
No,
lot of attention.
Heidi, not to be assaulted, but here's the thing: if you put out a pile of shit, let's say I go take that shit I just took in the toilet and scoop it out and throw it on the sidewalk in front of my beautiful fucking beachfront home here, and flies come. And flies come, and I'm like, what are these flies doing landing on this shit? I didn't ask them to come here.
You know what's interesting? Heidi's sister is like one of the best triathletes in the world.
Heidi Krooms?
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Know
go look up her sister. What's her sister's name? And if you look at her social media, like you can very clearly tell that she is just a triathlete, and her interests are really in doing sport. And it's always of her like smiling and doing workouts. Look up Jackie Herring. Like this is somebody who's chasing excellence in sport and no other interests of promoting something or any kind of ulterior motives on her social media. Like this is a very straightforward, I'm an athlete. Like to me, I find that to be very attractive and just like, okay, this is what she does. See, look, I like to run. I'm smiling. Here's me with some of my family. Now, look, I'm assuming those are her 2 kids.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back to that other person's posts where she's literally milking one of her children at the same time while posting, you're like, what the hell was the point of that? And this woman's just, hey, I'm an athlete. These are all very normal photos of being an athlete and hanging out with your family, day in the life kind of stuff. I don't think I've seen one photo of her butt this whole time. And it's like, that to me is just, you're an athlete. There's no ulterior motives here.
So that's the thing. If you go to that girl's Instagram account, the one that had her shirt torn off by Kanye and Diddy. So that's the thing. Heidi said the point is consent. Well, when is it? If you get called to a studio by rappers and there's 9 studio hoes in there and you're hanging out there and you consume the drink, and when they leave, you don't leave, and at what point just something about it is mind-boggling to me. That girl, by the way, if you look at her Instagram, it's all tits and ass shots, but if you go into her bio, she's a healer. She's a tarot card reader and a healer. Isn't that wild? That's what she's marketing with all those TNA shots.
I'm not gonna lie, I want my tarot card read.
You want? Oh yeah, me too. Hey, what do you think about this stuff? It's all over Instagram. Is this just a scam? This ketone IQ?
It's a huge scam.
Yeah, I bought some, and I'm assuming I'm not healthy enough for it to have any effect on me. I bought it and I drank them. They taste like complete and utter horse shit. They taste so bad. But on top of that, I've never experienced anything from it.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you can very easily do this. If you look at the energy systems going through your body as an athlete, anytime you start to do something athletic beyond like walking around and like you're starting to get up into the jogging, the running, the faster pace stuff, your body is not using that energy at all. And it takes a while for your body to actually take it in and use it. It's just, there's so many levels of just stupidity surrounding it. And I feel bad because I own a supplement company, but I'm not trying to promote my supplements on this show because I just feel like if people trust it and they want to go for it, so be it. But I will tell you right now, I'll speak very plainly on companies that I think are a scam. And I would say anybody who's investing in those might as well just buy a bag of shit and suck it down just the same.
Anytime I see the usual suspects, I think it's a scam. Anytime I see Huberman, he might be a great guy. I just think it's a scam.
You also just look at all
guy. Matt, is it not Max Greenfield? Who's the other guy who
Ben Greenfield? I love Ben Greenfield. Ben Greenfield
Ben
used to be a
Greenfield.
business
Yeah,
partner and good
anything he
friend.
says, I just think it's a complete scam.
Well, dude, I would just say, like, if you go and look at him when he was doing triathlons, he wasn't taking that stuff in.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
it is
taking that stuff.
Ben Greenfield. Anything he proposes, I just see as a scam.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
I bet you he lives in Malibu.
No, he doesn't live in Malibu. He lives up near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Oh.
Idaho.
Sevon, I think what you're saying is that at what point have you gone too far attracting bad people to bad things? Good people understand that consent is required to begin with. That's a great way to put it. I will also say this. Of all the dudes I know, only the shitbag dudes follow hoochie mamas. Like, I don't know one cool guy who follows one of these girls that post bathing suit pictures. Like, I don't know one.
Dude, I'll tell you this super embarrassing
I don't know
story.
one cool dude who follows Danny Spiegel. Not one real man, not one man who could hold my jock.
Dude, years ago, there used to be a feature on Instagram where you could see where people liked stuff and what they were like liking. I didn't know this. So I was going through social media and I was finding the weirdest shit possible and sending it to my friends and like double tapping it. They're like, oh yeah, this is crazy. And one day, Aaron Hind, the guy who owns Fit Aid, comes up to me. He's like, hey man, he's like, what's all this shit you've been liking and stuff on Instagram? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you know what I mean? And I was like, you can see that? And he's like, yeah, everybody can. And I was like jaw dropped. I was like, I could not believe.
Can you still do that? See what people like?
I don't think so. But back then it was like, I had no clue that there was like this behind the curtains option of Instagram where you could see what people were liking. And oh, dude, it gutted me. It gutted me. He was really polite about the whole thing, but I was like, oh, I feel like a total idiot right now. You're my sponsor.
Let me see. I don't know if I follow Brooke Wells. I get a pass because
Brooke Wells has got a pretty clean version of social media. She's a great girl.
Brooke Wells. I know I don't follow Brooke Wells. I would follow Brooke Wells though.
See, like that's a pretty clean social media page. Like it's not very.
Well, here's the difference too. Like I run in the same circles as Brooke Wells. There's one girl that I follow that's an OnlyFans girl, and it's because I'm friends with her. Actually, I don't even know if I follow her. Hold on a second. Let me see if I follow her.
Best friends. Best friends. A couple of my guy friends have OnlyFans pages now.
And I really like the fact she tells me all sorts of cool shit. This OnlyFans girl tells me all sorts of cool shit. She tells me about all the people who fucking her up in her DMs, who are famous people, and it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Allison NYC. Let me see if I follow Allison. I am legit friends with Allison. Like I would call her. I do follow Allison.
My back is fucked.
I do follow Allison. Do you know who Allison is?
No.
Let me show you Allison real quick.
It's pretty interesting the amount of time that I've spent on social media, and I don't like not social media, like competing and going to these places and meeting all these people. I have no clue who any of these people are. Like I've met them a bunch of times. I don't even know their names. You know this person?
Yeah, I mean, I met her at a fucking at a seminar. I'm friends with her. I've hung out with her like a ton. I've gone to the beach with her a shitload. Our kids used to go to the same jiu-jitsu studios. I hang out with her a lot. Her and her husband. And but I met her at a kettlebell cert in 2007 at CrossFit Santa Cruz or something.
What was the name of that really buff guy with a bald head? He taught me my CrossFit kettlebell cert. Oh God, what was his name? He was like a special forces SWAT guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Jeff Martone?
No. He was so buff. He used to be a part of all the old CrossFit videos. He was like one of the first people to be in the CrossFit, like the girl WOD videos. He had a crazy body.
So here's the thing about Allison. Allison has an OnlyFans page, and this is her marketing page for it. She has an OnlyFans page. By the way, she never pops up in my feed. I don't even think she posts, to be honest. Let me see the last time she posted. 2 weeks ago.
How's your old friend Hiller doing?
He's good. He's killing. He's killing it, dude.
He's the TMZ of CrossFit. I see his stuff pop up from time to time. He's just brutal, relentless.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about this? I was tripping on his most recent post. I'm not tripping on his post. I'm tripping on the comments in the post. I don't really understand the post. I'm going to have to be honest with you. But basically, he shows here that this is a...
I like that baby hippo. I've seen that video.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's a legit hippo.
I didn't understand this, but...
That anybody that attends will get their very own pair of Rad Runners for free.
So it basically shows that he's sponsored by Rad shoes, but that he did a podcast recently and he's wearing Nikes.
I think you got to be careful. Like, I'm sponsored by Puma, and you can have lifestyle-based stuff, but I guess Nike does completely compete with Rad. And you don't know.
Rad
like,
has agreed.
Go ahead, sorry.
Is he really sponsored by Rad, or is he just like doing like a one-off post?
That's a good question, but at some point it becomes, I like it when Hiller shows this because it's like, hey, at some point it becomes like, hey, dude, you're switching shoes every week. How do we know what to believe?
Well, he's a heel striker, so don't believe him. And Noah's a really good guy. I mean, dude, I think now CrossFit contracts are probably 50 to 30% of what they used to be. So, hey, man, that dude's got to keep his family fed. And
you ran out of content. Like, what does that mean? That like, it's not important. I like to know. I don't think that this is mean at all. I think this is just like, hey, look, this guy supports one shoe, but is wearing another shoe. Like, just like,
yeah,
the whole thing is if he's supporting the shoe,
you can have contracts.
He wears, pardon me?
You can have contracts though that exclude lifestyle-based stuff. Like, that's a lifestyle-based shoe. You
can, but you should also. I don't think it's mean that Andrew's pointing that out. Do you?
Not really, but he is TMZ. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just goes after he just goes after anything. Like, you know, when like a celebrity like walks out of like a Denny's and they look like total shit.
Yeah,
because they were drinking the night before and then they went to Denny's the next day for a hangover meal and like takes a photo of them with their nipples hanging out through their shirt, like, and posts it. That's the TMZ shit I'm talking about.
I don't think it's TMZ. I think it's more like Consumer Reports.
It's TMZ.
It's like I think it's like Consumer. Like look at what this guy said. Someone wrote. David Reed wrote. Or look at Mason Mitchell wrote. Who cares? Well, shit. Isn't it obvious who cares? Rad cares because they pay him money to wear the shoes. Noah cares because he cashes the checks. Rad cares because they know without Daniel Brandon they wouldn't have sold any shoes.
Yeah, she moves the needle.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, I know this is your. Let me see. Slow day at the office. Like I don't understand these posts.
Well, I would say, I bet you Hiller's probably doing better than most of the CrossFit media companies now.
He's killing, dude. His YouTube is growing at the perfect space. His Instagram is out of control. He has like 80,000 like real followers, like real, like fuck. You know what I mean? Like they're like.
Does he have sponsors? Does he just run his coaching business?
He just has his coaching business. He doesn't take any sponsors.
That's good. That's good.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, dude, I know the two supplements he takes, they don't even sponsor him.
What does he take? Steroids?
I don't want to pump them up, but don't tell anyone, okay?
Yeah.
He takes NO Explode and C4.
Well, No Explode's not what it used to be. So I don't know why he's wasting his time there. I think it's just nostalgia.
I think he's told me that too.
Yeah, it's nostalgia. It's
like,
it's
look at
sad.
this. Why would he wear those running shoes for an interview in a non-sporting clothes? He's not running or in the gym wear. Dude, He's supposed to be a walking billboard for the company that's paying him money. I don't even get, like, I don't even understand this. Like, imagine if you, dude, just imagine this. Imagine you sponsored me to take your electrolytes.
Yeah.
And then I was on another show, and someone handed me some LMNT, and I actually took it and made it right on the show. You'd be like, dude, what the fuck? You should have pushed that away. Be like, well, I don't want to be rude.
I don't really sponsor any athletes just because I don't think a lot of the people these days are that authentic. Yeah, you just got to be careful. I'd rather just invest in my own brand and just do stuff like this and promote my products. The athlete marketing world, it's tough because, like, shit, probably about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago is when influencer marketing really, really blew up.
Yeah.
And there's just these blurred lines between who an athlete and an influencer is. And it's just, I kind of stopped caring. Like, if you notice, like, I'm just working out in Puma stuff all the time. And I'm not sitting here being like, you guys need to wear this shirt because it's the only shirt that's going to make you work out. No, it's just really kind of the brand I believe in. I was running and racing in Pumas well before I had a sponsorship contract with them. The best of the show.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Rad called, after Rad saw that post, they called Noah and they're like, hey, dude, not cool?
I mean, I'll give you an honest answer. I got contacted by one of my sponsors recently because they saw me in a video not wearing something, and I had to, like, explain myself. So I'm sure.
Was it you were wearing something else, or you just weren't wearing what was theirs?
No, I'm sponsored by a watch company, and I had like a 45-minute gym workout where we made a YouTube clip about it, and I wasn't wearing a watch. And I was like, I was charging my watch, dude. And it's just one time. And I don't think they're a bad company. They were just a bit confused. They're like, what's going on?
No, and that's fair. If you pay someone to, I'm guessing in your contract it says, here's what I'm guessing. And you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm guessing you like the watch already to begin with. So you figured, fuck, hey, I'm already promoting this shit. You guys might as well pay me. It was a perfect match. And so they're like, okay, wear the watch whenever you're working out, and that'll fulfill your contract.
Yeah, I mean, there's structure to it. There's definitely structure to it. Like, you can't, like, I've run into this problem a lot with sponsors where they want really defined structure. And I thought I was doing what we agreed on, but they get, like, upset. So that's why I don't really have a lot of sponsors. Like, I can't be the guy that has 10 different sponsors and 10 obligations to do 10 different things. Like, it's too much. So I work with brands that I really authentically am going to use, so that there's never blurred lines of whether or not I feel like I'm overextending myself to make sure they feel validated.
We got a great sponsorship with Fit Aid, and they had all these rules in there. And I just spoke to the CEO over there, Aaron, and I'm like, hey, I can't do any of those rules. I just can't do any of it. You have to trust me and let me work it in authentically, or we got nothing. He's like, no problem. And then now they're not our sponsor. And the irony is I made a post about them just recently, even though they're not my sponsor anymore. I showed my Fit Aid can fucking fell in the sand and got covered in sand. I said, oh, this is, even great men do bad things. Bad things even happen to great men. It was my Fit Aid can covered in sand. It's so much better just to do your own thing.
Yeah. Well,
the sponsor will get more out of it too.
It's interesting.
Well, I think they will, but then again, I'm not dealing with prima donnas, and I'm not a prima donna. So
I think if you end up working with people like where it doesn't seem super suggestive of everything that they're doing, kind of like the brand that you've built, where you have all these people, like, look at the amount of people that are just commenting in here. Like, these are real fans, they're not followers. They're like super loyal fans. And when you talk about things authentically, like, they're bought in because they're bought into you. Then when you have these influencers, like, I know so many of these guys, like, every other month they're posting about another competing brand. Like, they could care less about what they're trying to sell you. And I just think it's so crazy. I'm like, I wonder how these brands really think that they're getting their money worth here just because of views. Like, views to me mean nothing. Like, I can post something inside of my Facebook group for my training company and make a huge amount of sales rather than a video that gets 500,000 views on my Instagram that's like non-specific and targeted. A lot of people saw it, but it didn't do anything. And we study this stuff all the time when it comes to our sales. So it's really much better. Like I have 1,300 people in my training company right now. They are super, super loyal people. And like, I don't spit them bullshit. I just tell them like, hey guys, like this is what I would really work on right now. And we talk about it. I'm like, this is when you got to really start to load the supplements. This is when you'd want to be training in non-carbon plated shoes versus carbon plated shoes. And you say this kind of stuff and they believe it, and it actually moves the needle. And like, you got to be careful with these influencers because they're just kind of internet fuckboys. Like they just will take any deal that comes to them and they get views, but it's not valuable.
Hey, that's the difference between moving the needle and brand recognition. If you want brand recognition, you go to Danny Spiegel. If you want needle moving, you go to Danielle Brandon. You know what I mean by that? Like the people who are going to Danny Spiegel's Instagram account, I'm guessing aren't buying shit. They're just there to fucking jerk a load.
You know, all those dudes bought toe spacers.
But I do think that the Danielle Brandon people, I do think that she's sold a shitload of rads.
Probably. I wonder if she gets really taken care of by them, because I'd never heard about that brand until her.
Dude, she for sure has equity in the company, 100%. The way so what happened is Tier was a sponsor of the Wadapalooza one year, and last year or 2 years ago. And basically, when you're a sponsor, you don't let other people sell in your shoe company. You don't let other people sell shoes in Vendor Village, right? Makes perfect sense. You give them a fucking $1 million and they're like, okay, hey, you can, we don't want anyone else selling shoes in Vendor Village. I think that's totally fair in the contract. Then Rad got upset and was complaining that Big Bad Tier was pushing them out of Vendor Village. And it's like, no, dude, if you were the sponsor for fucking Wadapalooza, you wouldn't let Tier sell shoes there either. Like, quit being a fucking bitch. And they were playing the victim. Anyway, I called them out on it, and Danielle Brandon got pissed, and she won't come on the show anymore. And I think she must be really heartbroken to have to choose her brand over me. But she could have had both. She could have had the world. She could have had it all. But anyway, the only way you get that upset about something is if you have equity in it. You know what I mean? She's got equity. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's got anything to worry about. I think those people are living on a beach somewhere, living the dream, getting paid really well to
worry
exercise.
About all the shoe companies in the space end up going belly up.
My worry is this. Like, if CrossFit does really tank, which I think is going to, first of all, they're going to stop having the money to pay for these athletes. And as soon as the athletes jump, then the customers are going to jump, because these customers had built like brand recognition and loyalty over a short period of time. Like, Tier's been here for what, 24 months, 3 years. And by the time it really,
but they've been around forever, though, haven't they? They just came into
the swimming culture. Like, I think people still wear Reebok because it took 10 years for people to really make the Nano like a household name. And same with the Metcon. And like, I just think that the Tier and Rad are not going to have that. Like, if CrossFit goes away tomorrow, so do these brands, in my mind. And I had to really, really study that. Like, when I was launching my own brands, I had to really look at companies like, how do I make this thing last longer than Hyrox and myself? And you have to look at that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think Rad has done anything right now. No offense to them. I think they're a cool brand that would make anybody outside of this. Do
you think they're a cool shoe, though? Do you think they're a cool shoe?
I think they're cool looking. Like, I've heard a lot of reviews that are not, like, my friend Blue just joined their team and he's helping them develop their run, from what I understand. That's a great investment. Blue's a real runner. You're not taking somebody like Noah Olson and asking for running tips. You're talking to a real runner who used to work at Nike, who has a very, very defined and legitimate understanding of the running culture. He's the best decision I've seen them make for a running position. As I've heard about their running shoes, I heard they're not great running shoes.
Everyone I know who has them swears by them.
They're running shoes?
No, just their shoes in general. Everyone I know who had, like, I haven't heard one person say anything bad about Rad, which is interesting. But I think they're hideous looking shoes. Rads look geriatric. I agree. Couldn't agree more. I think they look like I think they're the worst looking shoe ever. But like I thought Reebok's shit whole line during the whole CrossFit, all that neon shit, and like it just looks like to me Jane Fonda shit.
Dude, look, is like Noble still around at all?
I do love my Rads. I heard Noble's like 200 mil in the fucking red. Is the red?
No,
the
but I'm
bad?
just asking, is it still around the community?
Yeah.
Do you still people wearing a lot of Noble?
No. I only see people wearing old Noble shit. I don't see any new Noble shit.
But that's what I'm saying. So Noble was just around for just a short period of time, and as soon as they stopped paying people, it cut the whole community ditches it. Like that's what's dangerous about these brands getting super affiliated with these things, especially on the tipping ship. Like I'll tell you guys a crazy number. Hyrox is going to have double the amount of participants in real life, not digitally, show up and compete this year to the number of people in the open. Like that is a dangerous number. And when you start to see CrossFit start to go down, you see Hyrox start to go up. It's like, why would you want to invest the money in something where the number's going the opposite way? And the brands they're gonna ditch.
How many people of those in that Hyrox number are repeat people?
I would say a fair amount, dude. Like it's just kind of like Spartan race.
That's
These
what I
people
mean.
get
So if it's double the participation, do you think that's unique individuals, or do you think that that's people going to multiple events?
I would say 60% of them are newcomers and 40% of them are double. Like they're the repeat offenders.
Don't you think in a way Hyrox will have the same life cycle as of like the marathon is just a staple, right? It's just a staple in the world's fucking active lifestyle.
So is triathlon, dude. Triathlon has huge participation numbers.
But don't you think that Hyrox will go the way of Tough Mudder and Spartan?
No. I mean, I think the difference is because Hyrox is what's called a 1, 2, 3. Like 1, do you do Hyrox? Yes. 2, where did you race? Or like what was your category? And then like 3, what is your time?
Okay.
So people can very clearly define who you are in the ranking system. Oh yeah, I've done an Ironman. Where'd you do it? Oh, Copenhagen. What was your time? 13 hours. Oh, you're a 13-hour Ironman person. Well, I'm 11. Like people love. You're 11
that in Hawaii.
Yeah, no, but like people love that little kind of sense of like, and Hyrox will do really well. I don't know if they're going to manage it properly, but like it's going to do well. I think so. I think it will stick around for a long time. It may not have crazy growth, but it's it's pretty interesting.
Hey, when I had the owner of Hyrox on, I think he told me that he was building it to sell it, right?
I think they're definitely trying to sell it.
Yeah, interesting. Rambler, if JR has a whole collection of Rads, they're good shoes. I know that's the thing. Like I respect JR Howell.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
You should. Yeah, he's like, I think I agree 100%. Fucking Rad should sponsor fucking the Crash Crucible. JR loves fucking Rads.
What's the Crash Crucible? How's your plumber? What's his name? The guy with the big head, midlift. What's his name? The guy that you say kill Taylor.
Oh, Taylor Self.
Yes.
Oh, why'd you call him the plumber?
He looks like a plumber. He looks like Mr. Clean.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a plumber. Man, he's just getting fucking smacked. Colton Mertens keeps coming on the show and fucking smacking him around.
I love Colton Merton. If anybody's keeping me a fan of CrossFit, it's Colton.
I know, me too.
He's just such a cool guy. He doesn't have to win. He just needs to be himself. And I don't know if he knows that I'm a super fan, but I love how he throws down, throws a little trash at it, and then he just goes back to his pig farm.
Yeah, he is he's something else.
Yeah.
Hey, what you should call into a Kill Taylor and try to win $500 or $1,000 or whatever it is.
Nah. I got other stuff to do, but I'll let him keep on winning. I mean, I think it's great what you guys are doing. I think it's fun.
Would you be good on the panel at ripping people up?
What do you guys do? Just shit on the people on the side, or you shit on him?
No, like after Taylor goes, when people call in, we just shit on them.
Oh, dude, I'm the best at that. I roast people all day. I'm
Like
the most dangerous roaster of all time.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we have to have you on the roasting platform soon.
I originally came on here to roast that guy, the melon head, John. I think that's his name. But
John
then
Young.
I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Poor guy.
You mean this particular show you were going to roast on him?
I thought
today?
it was. I thought it was.
Why? Did he say something about you?
He made this post the other day where he was like, CrossFitters are the best at everything. Every time they do things outside of CrossFit, they kill everybody. And I was like, I think you're forgetting about me. And he got really upset. He's like, you're just a gimmick, blah, blah, blah. And you could tell. Like, this is one of those kind of guys that lives in like a race car bed and has a picture of Rich Froning above his bed. And I was like, I don't want to be mean to this guy.
I love John, but you fucking nailed him perfect. I could totally see him sleeping in a race car bed.
I know, but it's like, I call him a melon head because his eyes are too far spaced apart. And, you know, it's one of those kind of things where I do love CrossFit. I did go to the CrossFit games and get my ass kicked, but you just have to have this reality check about CrossFit every once in a while. And I love to come in and just wake you guys up and remind you guys that there's things outside of CrossFit that people in CrossFit just get killed in. And you have to you can't forget. Like, you remember the movie The Village, the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys live in the village. Like, you don't realize that beyond the walls, that there's other things outside of the walls. And what you guys do is you have this big monster try to scare you away so you don't get too close to the edges. So just be careful. And I wanted to say that to John. He's a nice guy, but you just got to be careful, bud.
There's one hell of an echo chamber in here.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Echo chamber?
Yeah.
We just sit around and jerk each other off, tell each other how great we are.
That's sick, dude. That's what friends should do. I say this all the time. I'm like, you guys sound pretty jealous. Like, it's so easy to entertain guys and make each other happy. Like, they can just shoot the shit. Like, dude, we bought this thing that's like this ball that you rotate and you can count the RPMs. And if you twist your wrist really hard, you rev up the RPMs. My friends and I sat around.
I have one of those.
Yeah, we sat around for like 60 minutes doing that. And it was just the most incredible thing. We didn't need beer. We didn't need boobs. It was just the best.
Who are you voting for?
I've never voted.
Oh. Who are you going to vote for this time?
I'm not going to. I just think that, like, think about how much fun we had today until we brought up politics. And then as soon as you bring up politics, like, everybody starts to kind of fight with each other with things that they have no real touch points on other than watching TV and filling out a piece of paper that they think has something to do with it all. And you know that, man. Like, what's the point?
So you think it's just complete chaos and happen chance, and that there's no point in voting?
Basically, I mean, like, think about all of us have been like, we spent the first 30 to 50% of the show talking about P. Diddy parties that we've never been to, yet we're fascinated by it. The politics are the same exact thing. It's a Diddy party that you've never been to, but are fascinated by. Like, what's happening really behind these closed doors? And you start to like point fingers and be like, well, he's wrong and she's wrong. And I bet they did this. And you're never going to get to that party. You're never going to really have any real actions that influence what's going on in that party. And we sit here and we just are captivated by it. So much so that we spent all this time. And like, I don't care. I think the biggest thing that you could probably do is take that time and try to enjoy your friends and try to make more money so that when they try to increase taxes or any of this kind of shit, that you're just kind of, you're just bulletproof.
Andrew Hiller says politics is all fake. Maybe that's why his account is the way it is. He's just on a mission to point out all the inconsistencies and fake things that swirl around us. That would be consistent with his mission.
You'd be surprised how angry my family gets when I tell them I don't vote. It's just like, that's it. That's it right there. You can see how easily people get crazed. It was like, remember when you told people like you're non-vaccinated, how crazed they would get? It's the same thing. It's the same level of attachment of like control. I'm a super spreader. I'm an asymptomatic super spreader of the political world.
Jason Plummer, the CEO of a huge corporation, isn't going to let the janitor have a decision on the direction of the corporation.
Yeah.
Do you know the story about Tabasco sauce and
No.
and how they sold more Tabasco sauce?
Oh, at the door. Oh, camera guy's here. No, tell me about it, and then I got to bounce.
So when I was a kid, it used to be really hard to get Tabasco sauce out of the bottle. I don't know if you remember that, but you used to have to bang on it like so hard.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so nowadays, so then Tabasco did a contest with all their employees, and they said, hey, whoever can come up with the best idea, the best marketing plan to sell more Tabasco sauce, we'll give $1 million to.
And
so all these people turned in all these marketing plans. And this one guy who was a janitor said, you know what I'd do? And they said, what? He goes, I just make the hole bigger. And they made the hole bigger and sales skyrocketed.
Well, yeah, you got to figure, because if it's coming out, you don't have to keep on tapping it. More of it's coming out, and then you have to replace it faster.
Thank you.
Did he get $1 million?
So the janitor won $1 million, and he can have enormous influence. Okay, let me wrap this up before you got to go. So what we uncovered on this show are two things. You overtrained and you peaked too soon, and that girl's manager set her up. She the same way that there's rumors that Usher brought Justin Bieber to Diddy so that he could his butthole could take a break. This girl brought her talent there to feed Kanye and Diddy, and then after that, she got the job as the assistant. That I think that sums up the show. And Heidi wants to know if she's your new girlfriend.
I don't know where Heidi is. Are you sure Heidi's even a chick?
Yeah, I've met her. I've hung out with her.
Oh, okay. Legit. I never know who I'm talking to on the internet. I mean, basically, we broke down the most important topics that are going on in the world right now.
All right. Thank you. What are you going to film today with your camera guy?
We're supposed to do fast training. I have to go race in Amsterdam in a couple of weeks, so I gotta like do some training. But in reality, like a lot of the stuff that we do just in kind of like promotion, education, fun, we have to have really good storylines leading up into racing, because I like documenting the racing we're doing. Like, I'm sure you, same way you like documenting the stories, like I like storytelling, and nobody's doing it in High Rock, so I gotta fucking keep it moving, baby.
Hey, maybe we can do a show soon and talk about the hiccups that our relationship has gone through in the last couple of months.
Let's chop it up. I was really glad that I got to see you. You were the brightest point in my day.
Oh, you were the brightest point in my day too. That's good.
All right. I love you, brother. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay. Bye. I love you too. I mean,
I love you. Bye.
Hunter McIntire. Oh, April. Never seen you post before. Wow, look at you. All dolled up. You use eye drops, huh? Look how shiny your eyes are. Remember to put on your watch, Hunter. I never played my morning song. Oh, I know. I need to play it. I need to. What I need to do is I need to download that video. It's on YouTube. I need to download that video so that I can just play it from StreamYard. I wouldn't even know where to find it again. I'd have to go to my WhatsApp and send me the link. I need to do that. Sabir did such a good job. Someone in the YouTube comments wrote the other day, yesterday or the day before, Sevon, I love you, but your politics are horrible. And you know what's crazy about that is I don't have politics. And that's the kind of out of touch shit that people from the left say. They say politics, because imagine in that time that it took you to write that sentence, you could have been like, hey, Sevon, it's okay to chop off little boys' penises. You're totally wrong. They can't do that because for them it's politics. For me, it's not politics. It's just logic. It's just being a good person. It has nothing to do with people who use that word but like refer to it as like politics like that. Those are people who are just living in the fucking clouds. There's people who still think chemtrails are fake or that there's not weather modification going on because they don't want to spend 3 seconds going to the government website. It's all fake. It's all fake, 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 fake until you don't have clean running water at your house. Then it gets real. You can say all the shit's fake, 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 fake. You can be like, it's just politics, blah, blah, blah. But those people don't have any skin in the game. They don't got kids. They're not worried. They're not worried about that. They're not worried about anything except the politics. That's not. Yeah, of course it's not real, Andrew. You have clean running water. Pat Lang, you just said you don't have politics while summing up a group of people as the left. Correct. Correct, buddy. What is going on in the Carolinas? Is it really that bad? What's going on over there? How bad is it? Yeah, I have a well. Bingo. Which Carolina is it? What do I look up? A buddy of mine over at FEMA told me that they ordered 1,000 body bags. Is it that bad? It's bad. Crash still doesn't have power. What happened? They just got so much water that the infrastructure couldn't drain it away? Is that what a flood is? Which Carolina is it? Is it North Carolina? North Carolina, or is it South Carolina? Noah bad. Wow. North Carolina news. Here's how Hurricane Helena brought biblical devastation to western. Hurricane Helena mudslide tears through home in North Carolina. Oh, this is a video. Wow, let's see what's going on here. Wow. Where was that person standing? How did they catch that? Oh my goodness.
I'm okay.
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
The everything's gone. It's all gone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are your parents okay?
They're okay.
Was anybody in the gym?
It's okay. It's okay.
I love it. The lady's like saying, it's okay. It's okay, when she sounds the most terrified. Listen to this. Dear women of the world, men don't want to hear you say that. It's okay. If you're not sure if you're dating a man or not, just say that to him. If he doesn't fucking snap on you, he's not a man. No one wants to be told it's okay.
I'm okay.
My car's gone.
I'm okay.
My car's gone. Oh, Janelle, stop. She's probably talking to her kid. Please stop. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the wandering spider. There's actually more than just one species of the wandering spider, but they are all in the same genus, Phonotria, and all of them pack a punch if they bite you. Although they are very common with care and caution, with care and caution, it's easy for us to work around these impressive arachnids.
Hey everyone, tonight I'm going to introduce you to one of the most dangerous animals that we regularly encounter here in the Amazon. Now, this is a wandering spider, and wandering spiders are capable of delivering a very dangerous bite, and particularly dangerous for men, because in some cases, men develop a very long-lasting and extremely painful and dangerous erection when they're bitten by this spider. Now, this species is normally not aggressive, but it's also not very scared of people either. In fact, it generally holds its ground, and as you can see when I touch it, it tries to show these yellow spots on its legs. Now, that's usually a warning to any animal that encounters it, don't mess with me because I'm very dangerous. Now, this species is extremely common and can be found basically anywhere. In fact, we find 3 or 4 almost every night we're doing surveys. And although that may sound a bit scary to some people, for us, it's just part of life working here in the Amazon. Hey, everyone.
Wow. I think I was bit by that spider when I was 14. Ray Libby, death by boner. Jason Plummer. Sevon, I had a phone call and missed. Did you fuck me up on my CEO janitor talk? No. Yeah, I agreed with what you said. I just gave an example. I agree with what you say. All right. I'd talk to you all day, but my whole family's out here. I think CA Peptides mailed me that spider. Every BPC 157 comes with a little spider venom. Yeah, if you got the CJC 1295, you will experience similar what's that called? Not effects, similar side effects as getting bit by that spider. Wow, Jeffrey Birchfield. Amazon is the world's medicine cabinet. That's cool. Most painful thing I heard all day was when Jake Chapman said, "That's a horrible question." Because Jake's questions are usually so good. So to have someone in my peer group of asking questions, critique one of my questions as the worst question ever, really hit home hard. Now, yesterday, someone told me I was funny. So today, as I'm walking around Newport Beach, realizing I have the most blessed life on planet Earth, I'm going to let those two thoughts fight each other. That I asked the worst question ever and that I'm funny. And I'll watch them fight in a UFC style fight in my head. You know what my kid said to me yesterday? Listen to this one. We're walking down the beach. The shit homes are 5 million. The nice homes are 30 million. There's just a row of them, just as far as your eye can see. My kids are on their super tricked out skateboards. I just bought them that they're like surf skateboards. They have the trucks are a little different so that they pivot differently than a regular skateboard. I bought them a bag of 36 wiffle balls off the internet. Spoiled little brats and a brand new plastic bat. Don't listen to me. And 3 footballs. He said and 3 footballs. I bought them a donut hole each. And we walk by this car that's parked right up along the beach. And they said, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, it says on there." And Avi reads on the hood of the car, "It's a McLaren." Is it wiffle? I hurt myself playing yeah, my boys, we've been playing a ton of football and a ton of wiffle ball. Wiffle. I hurt myself actually yesterday throwing fast pitches with a wiffle ball. Another story. I don't really want to tell it. I'm embarrassed. So my son looks over at the hood of this car and he says, "Oh, it's a McLaren." And I said, yeah, good job. He read McLaren on the hood because it says McLaren. And then my other son looks at me and he says, are we the only poor people in Newport? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why do you say that? So we drive, we're in a van. We don't have a McLaren. What a conversation. So where the fuck would you guys sit if we had a McLaren? Where would the groceries go? Where would those 18 pairs of brand new shoes you guys have flying around in the van at all times go? Where would your surfboards go? Where would your skateboards go? Where would all the crumbs from all your food go that are all over the place? Where would the toilet go? Oh, yeah, we don't have the toilet anymore. They're big boys now. They're 7. If you have kids, especially if you have 3 or more, there's something really cool about life that you never knew that you'd be doing. You will tour every bathroom everywhere you go because someone always has to go to the bathroom. So just places that you would never consider using the bathroom, you'll use them. You'll see every bathroom in every neighborhood, in every store, in every restaurant. You will become a connoisseur of the bathrooms. I should just start taking pictures of bathrooms. I should just make a whole IG, my kid shit here. That's all. Every day I go to a new bathroom. I shit in a new bathroom. I need to shit my son every 27 minutes. Yeah, I got one of those. My son Ari is just like, time to deuce. He's a 4 or 5 times a day deucer. It's crazy. I accuse him all the time. Like, you just want to shit in a new toilet. You're like, you know how some people go do wine tasting? He just likes to shit. Like if I dug a hole, Ari'd be like, I'll shit in that. I'll try that hole out. Any hole. Anything. He sees a bucket. He's like, can I shit in that? He just wants to take shits everywhere. That's it. That's what he does. That's what we do. When you have 3 boys, you just take shits across America. Find a bathroom and use it. Don't have a bathroom? It's okay. All right. I'll see you guys maybe. I always want to do shows at night, but it's too chaotic here. I didn't even drink yesterday because I was planning on doing a show at night, but I didn't. No, they don't. I don't think they get embarrassed. The funny thing about the story is that he's sitting across from Sevon Lit in the living room right now, embarrassed currently. Are you embarrassed, Ari, or was it a good bit? Good bit. Yeah, he says it's good. They know everything's a bit. We just do bits. They don't get embarrassed. We just do bits. What? Oh, all right. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe tonight. Tomorrow, Greg Glassman, 7 a.m. Talk to you guys soon. Julia, good to see you. Lord Wang, good to see you. Sean, always good to see you. Brandon Waddell, I owe you a phone call. I thought about you like 20 times yesterday. All right. Bye-bye.